So we're gonna um rank the rhythm story. If you don't see the whole thing of this is the like all of them. Yeah. What do I rank all of them? Maybe it's going to be 100% sus, but I don't know. Okay. Alright, Spock. Right. First, it says this. Oops. Let me just. Oh, yeah. Okay. Four. And, five. Huh. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Right.
My stepsister wanted me to give her back shots when our parents were
Hey,
away.
yo!
Part 1. Make sure
Maybe. It's not like that. It's not like that. I think, like back shots, like the airsoft guns. They're playing airsoft and they're trying to shoot their backs. Yeah. All right.
to stay until the end. It gets a little wild. Ever since we became teenagers, my stepsister Ava had been driving me crazy. The way she'd stretch in front of me in those tiny shorts, the way her fingers would linger when she handed me things.
Ah. Okay. Not like that. She's not sus, guys. She's just uh being cool. Yeah. He's she's just being cool. Yeah.
Those looks she'd give me when no one else was watching. But with our parents always around, nothing could happen. Until now. The second their car disappeared down the driveway, Ava turned to me with a smirk. Finally, she purred, twirling a strand of hair around her finger. Just you and me. By dinner, she was accidentally brushing against me every chance she got. By bedtime, she was walking around in just an
Ah.
oversized t-shirt that barely
Um. I think it's not airsoft. I think it's something else, like something like clapping noises. Yeah.
covered her thighs. Forgot my pajamas, she lied, bending over just enough to give me a view. When I groaned, she giggled and sauntered off. Sweet dreams. Please leave a like, drop a comment, and hit the follow button for part 2. My stepsister wanted me to give her
Ah.
back.
No. I'm not gonna give it um 10 out of 10 suspect. It's super bad. It's super bad. It's dumb. It's dumb. 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 Alright. Next one. Okay. We're gonna do this. We're not gonna do this because it's part two. Alright. 1, 2, 3, go.
I snuck my boyfriend into my room and my dad caught us at the worst possible moment. I was 17 with the strictest parents you could imagine.
What were you caught? Cuddling or clapping? Like that? Okay.
Like, I wasn't even allowed to have guy friends, let alone a boyfriend. My parents were super religious, with a no dating until marriage rule. Except I'd been secretly dating Marcus for 3 months. We could only meet at school or the mall when I said I was with girlfriends. Tonight was different though. My parents thought I was studying in my room, and Marcus was about to climb through my window. I left it unlocked earlier, heart pounding so hard I thought they'd hear it downstairs. I could see my parents' bedroom light on down the hall, but it was past 10 p.m. I told myself it would be fine. We'd hang out for an hour, and he'd leave before midnight. The window slid open, and Marcus climbed in, nearly knocking over my lamp. We both froze, listening for footsteps. Nothing. He smiled at me, and I felt my whole body relax. We sat on my bed and started talking in whispers. And then he kissed me. It was perfect for exactly 4 minutes. Then I heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy, slow footsteps. My dad's footsteps.
Ah! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Closet. Now, I whispered, shoving Marcus toward my closet. He squeezed inside between my winter coats, and I shut the door just as my bedroom door opened. My dad stood there in his pajamas, arms crossed, staring directly at me. The hallway light behind him made him look even more intimidating. I know he's here, my dad said. His voice was calm, too calm. That's how I knew I was in serious trouble. What, Dad? I'm just studying. I don't know what you're— Don't lie to me. He stepped into my room and looked around slowly. At my laptop, clearly not open to homework. At my hair that I had curled even though I was supposedly just studying alone. At my closet door that wasn't fully closed. My whole body went cold. I started crying immediately. My life was over. You have one chance to tell me the truth, my dad said, still in that terrifyingly calm voice. Where is he? I wanted to keep lying, but I couldn't form words. I just stood there, shaking. Fine, he said. He walked straight to my closet and yanked the door open. Marcus stumbled out, his face white as a sheet. My dad grabbed him by the collar of his shirt.
Okay.
And Marcus's eyes went huge. Dad, please, I can explain, I started. Explain what? That you've been lying to us? That you snuck a boy into my house? He was still calm, but his grip on Marcus's shirt was tight. I want his full name and his address, right now. I took a shaky breath. His name is Marcus Williams, but Dad, I don't know his address. Now, my mind went blank. We'd never been to each other's houses, only ever met at school or the mall. I don't know his address, I admitted. My dad's expression hardened. You're dating someone and you don't even know where he lives? You don't know anything about him? We always just meet at school. And so you've been sneaking around with a complete stranger. He looked at Marcus. What's your address, son? I snuck my boyfriend into my room and my dad—
Okay. Shit. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do it to kind of bad. So, yeah.
Caught us at—
And then I'm gonna do this song.
While chilling in my room, I got a text from my stepsister saying, "So when are we finally gonna hook up? I'm getting impatient." I stared at my phone, rereading the message 3 times to make sure I wasn't missing.
What? Let me see.
While chilling in my room, I got a text from my stepsister saying, "So when are we finally gonna hook up? I'm getting impatient." I stared at my phone.
What? No. Become friends, yeah. Become very good friends, yeah.
Rereading the message 3 times to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding. This was Lana, my stepsister, the girl whose mom married my dad 2 years ago. I typed back,
Um, like friends. Hook up like friends.
quickly, "Lana, what the hell? You're my sister." The reply came instantly. "Stepsister, big difference." Then another message. "And I've liked you way before our parents even met. You know that." I genuinely had no idea. We'd known each other since our parents started dating 3 years ago, but she'd never given any indication she was into me. Another text. "I've been waiting for you to make a move for 3 years. At some point you need to grow a pair and just do it already." My hands were shaking as I typed, "This is insane. We live in the same house. Our parents are married." Her response made my balls shrink. "So? They're not home right now. I'm literally down the hall. Stop being a coward." I sat there frozen, hearing footsteps in the hallway outside my door, realizing she was actually coming to my room. My door opened before I could lock it. Lana walked in wearing one of my old hoodies and shorts, closing the door behind her. "We need to talk about this," she said, sitting on my bed like this was completely normal. I backed up against my desk. "Lana, no, this is wrong. We can't." She rolled her eyes. "You're making this way more dramatic than it needs to be. Our parents got married. We didn't. We're not actually related." I tried to explain that it didn't matter, that it would destroy our family, that I had a girlfriend. She just laughed. "Claire, please. You've been with her for like 6 months. I've known you for 3 years." My phone buzzed. A text from Claire asking what I was doing. Lana saw me looking at it. "You gonna tell her I'm in your room? That we're having this conversation?" I wasn't going to tell Claire anything because how would I even explain this situation? Lana moved closer. "Look, I've been patient. I didn't say anything when our parents started dating because I thought we'd figure it out eventually. Then they got engaged and I thought, okay, after the—
The the fuck? No, I'm not. I'm not saying bad words. I'm saying good words. I'm saying fa. Ka. Hey, ka. Ka. Ka is the cousin. Yeah, cousin.
Wedding will deal with this, but it's been 2 years since they got married, and you're still pretending like there's nothing between us. Because there is nothing between us. She pulled out her phone and showed me her photo gallery. Pictures of us together over the years, at family dinners, holiday gatherings, movie nights. You're telling me you never felt anything? Never thought about it? I hadn't. Or at least I'd never let myself think about it because she was my stepsister, and this was exactly the situation I was in right now. My phone kept buzzing. Claire was calling. Lana watched me decline it. See? You can't even answer because you know this is real. She stood up and walked toward my door, but before leaving, she turned back. I'm not going away, and eventually, you're going to stop fighting this. When you're ready to be honest with yourself, you know where my room is. After she left, I sat there completely spiraling. My brain was screaming at me to go to Claire, to tell her everything immediately. Eventually, I grabbed my keys and drove to Claire's apartment. When she opened the door, I must have looked insane. What's wrong? I walked past her, words tumbling out. Lana texted me, said she'd been into me for 3 years, came to my room, told me to stop being a coward. Everything spilled out while Claire listened. When I finished, out of breath and waiting for her to freak out, she almost smiled. Lana really committed to it, huh? I stared at her. What? She picked up her phone and showed me a text thread with Lana. I asked her to do it this morning, to see what you'd do. My brain stopped working. You told her to text me that? Claire nodded. I needed to know you'd come straight to me, that you'd tell. While chilling in my room, I got a text from my stepsister saying, so
Not
when are we
seeing part two. Is this the part two? I don't know, but let's rank it. Oh my god, these stories, bro. 100%. Fuck. Wait, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Right now, let's go to.
Ended up plowing the heck out of me. On vacation a few months ago, my son told me my husband, his dad, was cheating on me. It was hard to believe him. After all, we had been married for 30 years. My son showed me pictures of the messages his dad had been sending to this girl. I didn't question how he got those pictures, but I couldn't deny something was going on. I confronted him later that
I guess I think it's going to be 1 inch of crunch, but yeah.
day, and he confessed having an affair. He moved out, I filed for divorce, and I had a rough couple of weeks. I had no idea how to move on from this. It had come so unexpected. Even though he had to take care of his own family, my son visited me almost every day, and that was very comforting. After a month or so, I was doing better, and that's when my son suggested we could take a holiday together. He had seen commercials for good last-minute deals, and I was happy to come along, so he arranged everything. I was fully convinced I would be joining him and his family, but when he picked me up the day we left, it turned out it would be just me and him. I wasn't too bothered, but it struck me as a little odd. When we arrived, it also turned out he had only booked us one room. And while I couldn't really complain since he paid for the whole trip, it struck me as a little odd again. But I was there.
Wait, he is
Ended up him. After all, we had been married for 30 years. My son showed me pictures of the messages his dad had been sending unexpected. Even though he had to take care of his own family, my son visited me almost every day, and that was very comforting. After a month or so, I was doing better, and that's when my son suggested we could take a holiday together. He had seen
okay. I take back what I said.
Commercials for good last-minute deals, and I was happy to come along, so he arranged everything. I was fully convinced I would be joining him and his family, but when he picked me up the day we left, it turned out it would be just me and him. I wasn't too bothered, but it struck me as a little odd. When we arrived, it also turned out he had only booked us one room, and while I couldn't really complain since he paid for the whole trip, it struck me as a little odd again, but I was there to make the best of it, so I didn't push it with him. The next few days were fantastic. He had booked a number of activities such as diving, salsa dancing, a helicopter ride. In between, we would hang out at the pool and have some drinks. I made sure to let him know how much fun I had.
I think it's another person, like his friends or something. Alright.
and how much I appreciated this. He simply hugged me and said he wanted to see me happy. One night the hotel did a sulfur night, and part of that was a small competition between the guests. Since we had taken the lessons the days before, I said we had to compete. So we did. Now my son isn't the greatest dancer, neither am I, but he's great at entertaining.
Yeah. Look at this gift. Now go to your room and think about what you posted. Yeah. Do that. Do that.
People. So by overacting all his moves, he managed to win over the crowd, and we finished second. I was laughing more than I was dancing. It was so funny. After the competition, we continued to dance for hours, and I probably had a bit too much to drink. We held hands as we walked back to our room.
Okay, I'm gonna put this mic in my mouth.
After we changed, we got into bed. Normally, we would just be on our own side of the bed, wish each other good night, and go to sleep. That night, he rolled over to my side and hugged me from behind and started to smirk. I didn't expect what he was going to say.
I smiled, thinking he was about to crack a joke, but instead, he whispered, "Mom, do you know why I really wanted us to come here alone?" His voice was soft, almost too casual for the weight of the question. I paused.
Oh my fucking god, what is happening?
A knot forming in my stomach. Why? I asked cautiously. I wanted to tell you something I've been keeping to myself for a long time. He sounded serious now, which made my mind race. What could he possibly be holding back? There was a long silence. Then, he pulled back slightly, propping himself up on his elbow so he could look me in the eyes. "Mom, I know you're not really my mother."
Be right back, I'm gonna drink water and eat something. I'm back. Mm, I literally forgot what was happening. Okay.
I blinked. What? What are you talking about? He nodded, his face completely earnest. I found out a few months ago. I did a DNA test on a whim. It came back saying you and Dad aren't my biological parents. That's why I started digging, trying to figure out the truth. I sat up, my heart pounding in my chest. What? How could that be? I gave birth to you. I was there, I remember everything. He shook his head slowly. I don't know how to explain it either, but the DNA doesn't lie. I didn't want to believe it at first, but then I found some old letters. They were from a woman who claims to be my real mother. She said there was a mix-up at the hospital. I was speechless. How could this be possible? And Mom, he continued, it wasn't just a random mix-up. This woman, she's Dad's old lover. He knew about it all along. I gasped. What? No, that can't be. He nodded again, his face dark. I confronted him after I found the letters.
What?
And he admitted it. He said he stayed with you because he didn't want you to know. He didn't want you to find out the truth, and he figured, after all these years, it wouldn't matter anymore. I was reeling, my mind spinning with the revelation. 30 years of marriage, shattered in a moment. The affair, the lies, the hidden truth about my own son. But why now? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Why are you telling me this now? He looked down, his face unreadable. Because, Mom, or whoever you are, I needed you to know the truth before I cut ties with Dad. And you. I can't keep pretending anymore. And with that, he rolled over, turned his back to me, and fell silent. The room felt like it was spinning. My world had just crumpled in the space of a few minutes, and I was left lying there, next to the person I thought was my son, but who, in reality, was a stranger.
Ended up plowing the heck out of me. On vacation a few months ago, my son told me my husband, his dad, was cheating on me. It was hard to believe him. After
While chilling in my room, I got
ended up plowing the heck out of me. On vacation a few months ago, my son
I'm gonna see this part too.
Big sister accidentally rode me. Alright, so I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. So me 18M and my sister
There were 5 of them. I wrote.
My dad smashed.
If I was your school Wi-Fi, this is your profile picture in the... Bro, why in every horror movie do the...
I busted a fat load in my sister.
Bro, why?
Bro, why in every... This... If I was your school Wi-Fi, these... This is your pro... If I was your school Wi-Fi, this is your profile pic... Bro, why in every horror...
Bro, bro turned into an... Bro turned into an rant, bro.
I busted a fat load in my sister. This all started when she got...
You ever realize how much it hurts when your friend finds someone else? There's no argument.
I busted a fat...
You ever...
I did my stepmom and stepsister at the same time part 1.
You ever realize how much it...
I did my stepmom and stepsister at the... I did my stepmom...
I had to sleep with my sister to prove to my...
Pounded my teacher and her daughter's kitty cat. When I...
A stranger tried to grab my daughter at the grocery store, so I broke his nose. Then I apologized. I was at the grocery store with...
My stepdad said he's tired of my mom's roast beef and wants...
He tickled my balls, so I sewed his nuts to his mom's ass. The crackhead lunged at me, so I turned him into a femboy and sold him on Etsy. I live in a sketchy little neighborhood where everyone minds their business, except for this one dude. Let's call him Rico. Rico is, well, he's like a local cryptid. No one knows where he lives, but he appears at 3 a.m. yelling about government conspiracies, anime girls, and how he once fought a raccoon with his bare hands.
Oh my freaking god. Anime. Anime girls. Yeah. Wow. Clap for me. Clap. Clap.
Classic Rico. Anyway.
Me and my sister were touching.
Okay, I forgot to rank it. Alright. Ba ba ba. Now next one. Now,
This happened 2 years ago, and I still think about
I think
this happened 2 years.
okay. No, wrong one. Oops, this isn't a freaky Reddit story. Oops. Oopsies. Oh my freaking god. Okay, fuck.
This happened 2 years ago, and I still think about it every night. I was working the closing shift at a small gas station. Around 2:30 a.m., an old man walked in wearing a dark hoodie. He didn't buy anything. He just stared at me for about 30 seconds before saying my full name. I wasn't wearing a name tag. I asked how he knew me, but he smiled and said,
Yes, greater more, bro.
"Your mom used to work nights too." My mom had died 5 years earlier. He slowly walked out without another word. I checked the security cameras, but something was off. The footage showed the front door opening by itself. No one walked in. The timestamp matched the exact minute I spoke to him. The next morning, I told my manager. His face went pale. He opened an old newspaper clipping from behind the counter. A cashier had disappeared from that same station in 1998. The security photo showed the last customer she ever served. It was the same old man. He hadn't aged a single day. I quit that afternoon. A month later, I drove past the station one last time. There was a new cashier inside, and the old man was standing in line. He was looking straight at me. This happened 2 years ago. I still think about it every night. I was working the closing shift at a small gas station. Around 2:30 a.m., an old man walked in wearing a dark hoodie.
Okay. Super normal. Alright. Super normal. Not normal. Oh no. Okay. One is a fridge.
The beautiful thing about Fate here is that Finn's death wasn't just needed to bring his inner child back, but also to get his loved ones to express themselves. Seeing Princess Bubblegum so shaken, breaking down realizing she'd almost killed Finn trying to save him, was so raw and caught me off guard. Fiona convinces Finn to come back to life, who finally is met with a kiss from Huntress, and the celebrations of everyone who holds him dear. He hasn't actually made peace with Jake's death. We know this because of Together Again, the special episode of Distant Lands that takes place after his death, which is also an episode that bothers me a lot. At the very end of the special, Finn also lets go of Jake, ready to choose to move forward into a life without him. Yet it's that same episode that Jake also turns his back on the 50th in order to continue living with Finn as well. Why? What changed? What's different now? I won't speak for everyone, but I've been used to framing Jake as this perfect, wise, Uncle Ivo type character all along. But understanding Jake...
What's the worst mistake you ever made when texting someone? So, I know a girl, she's 15, and I'm not quite...
Okay, let's replace this one with this. Alright, let's go.
What's the worst mistake you ever made when texting someone? So, I know a girl, she's 15, and and I'm not quite sure what she has, but I do know she's mentally challenged. She's the sweetest little girl I know, heart of gold and extremely generous.
Okay, prediction. He's gonna clap her like this, yeah. Oh, in the bed, 50 times, like, and make her pregnant.
And friendly. She's taken quite a liking to me, and her parents say she apparently doesn't stop talking about me at the dinner table, or whenever she gets the chance. I think she sees me the same way younger kids find high schoolers cool. She's recently taken an interest in building her own wardrobe. She didn't care much aside from preferring certain colors and prints, and her mother apparently bought most things for her, but she's begun to develop her own taste fashion-wise. That said, I have several pairs of baggy pants I usually default to for comfort, and she noticed. She expressed to her mother that she wanted her own pair, but she wanted it to look exactly like my pants specifically. Now, baggy pants often have different looking fits depending on its dimensions and whoever's wearing them, and after hours of her mother taking her to different shops, they weren't able to find one that looked just like mine did, and fitted on her exactly like mine did. Lisa decided to send me a message once they reached the last shop, and she told me what she was doing. I go, I'll help. Like the dumb F that I am. God, if I could just ask to turn back time, I would have tossed my phone and myself down a whale's colon in the hopes that would save me from the day's humiliation. But as we are all just men, I was powerless. She found one that looked quite similar to mine, and she tried it on. She then said, "What's the worst mistake you ever made when texting someone?"
I think part 2 is going to be freaky, so 10 out of 10, sus. Alright? Let's replace this one with this one. Alright, let's go. Alright.
Accepting that invitation was the biggest mistake of my life. It started innocently enough, with a group of friends daring each other to explore the decaying remnants of the old asylum. The building loomed like a sinister specter against the moonlit sky, its broken windows gaping like hollow eyes. As we stepped inside, the air grew heavy with the weight of forgotten memories. Graffiti covered the walls, telling tales of despair and madness. But it was what we found in the basement that truly chilled me to the bone. Hidden beneath layers of dust and decay, we stumbled upon a series of disturbing drawings etched into the...
Nah, I'm gonna make it to this.
Disturbing rumor turned out to be true at your school. When I was a senior in high school, we had a new teacher join the faculty to teach health and home economics. She was probably about 26 years old and very, very attractive. Everyone was talking about the hot new teacher. As I was senior class president, I needed a new faculty advisor since my previous advisor of 3 years retired at the end of my junior year. About 2 weeks later, the principal called me into his office and informed me that the new hot teacher was going to be our new class advisor for the rest of the year. As a result, she and I spent a lot of time together, at school and off campus, organizing and running myriad events to raise money for the class, plan the prom, field trips, etc. Soon, the rumors started flying around that she and I were messing around. This was completely false. I can say she never acted inappropriately towards me or suggested anything to make me think she had plans for any type of physical or sexual activity. She was a fantastic advisor and always just that, a class advisor. I spent the rest of the year denying these rumors with friends, with teachers and with parents. I was even interrogated by my wrestling coach the day before the district championship match. She and I had a laugh about it at graduation as she had to face similar questions from other faculty as well as the principal. She confided in me that she had tendered her resignation, but the principal would not accept it and said he believed her and would ensure the rumor was squashed. So I graduated and left for my plebe year at West Point, forgetting about the entire situation. At West Point, the first year is called plebe year rather than freshman year. The first semester of my plebe year was moving along as it should, with no unusual events worth mentioning until the final month. Then, in early December, the topic of my high school faculty advisor resurfaced. One night when I was studying, there was a knock on my door and the company tactical officer, a regular Army captain, walked in and told me to report to his office immediately as there was a phone call for me from the Dover Police Department. Now, I immediately assumed it was my brother playing some kind of twisted joke on me since he was a captain in the very same police department waiting for me on the phone. Since my TAC was standing right behind me, I answered the phone as we were taught. "Cadet Kerwick speaking, how may I help you, sir/ma'am?" I immediately recognized the voice on the other end. It was not my brother but a close friend I had grown up with and known for over 15 years. He said,
What?
Disturbing rumor turned out to be true.
All rated. Okay, it's not normal, but I'll still put it in this, because because this is scary. Not Sophie Baka. Sophie Baka. I replace this with this.
There's something inside my walls, and it's watching me. So, I recently moved into a new apartment. It's nothing fancy, just a small place downtown that's close to my job. The rent is cheap, and the building is pretty old, but it has a certain charm. Or, at least, it did. About a week after I moved in, I started hearing strange noises at night. At first, it was
They're banging him! They're banging him!
just a faint scratching sound, like something was moving inside the walls. I figured it was just rats or some other pest, so I called the landlord to get it checked out. He said he'd send someone over, but no one ever came. The scratching continued, getting louder each night. It started to sound less like an animal and more like, I don't know, something deliberate, like someone was trying to get my attention. Then, 2 nights ago, I heard whispering. I couldn't make out the words, but it was definitely a voice. A cold shiver ran down my spine. Last night was worse. I was lying in bed, trying to ignore the sounds, when I heard a soft knock on my bedroom wall. It was so distinct, and I was sure it was coming from the other side. I live alone, and there's no apartment on the other side, but then the knocking turned into banging. It was like someone was trapped
He's banging him! He's banging him!
inside the wall, desperately trying to get out. I jumped out of bed and ran to the wall, pressing my ear against it. The banging stopped, and for a moment, there was silence. Then I heard it, a low, raspy voice, whispering, there's something inside my walls, and it's watching me.
Okay, that's what he said. Okay. It's super freaky. Blah 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 blah. No. I mean, this is going to be 1 inch of crunch. Right. No. Okay, this one. Okay.
Want to hear a scary story? This is a true scary Reddit story by user cautious-gas-838. I've got a story that's still freaky
What the hell?
to this day. So I used to live with my mom in this apartment from when I was 4 till I was 16. We had our own little setup. I'd be in my room, she'd be in hers, and we'd just chill like that. But the thing is, I'd be up late a lot, pulling all-nighters and whatnot. We had this computer in the living room, and every single night at 3 a.m. on the dot, it'd just turn on out of nowhere. I'm talking sleep mode. Just suddenly wakes up, and then you'd hear the foot. Want to hear a scary story? This is a true scary Reddit story by user cautious-gas-838. I've got a story that's still freaky to this day. So I used to live with my mom in this apartment from when I was 4 till I was 16. We had our own little setup. I'd be in my room, she'd be in hers, and we'd just chill like that. But the thing is, I'd be up late a lot, pulling all-nighters and whatnot. We had this computer in the living room, and every single night at 3 a.m. on the dot, it'd just turn on out of nowhere. I'm talking sleep mode. Just suddenly wakes up, and then you'd hear the footsteps. These footsteps would start in the living room, and they'd come straight to my room. Sometimes they'd just stop right outside my door, and I'd be thinking, what the? Other times, they'd keep going through the whole apartment. My mom would be dead asleep, and these footsteps would be so loud, they'd wake her up. She'd be all, what's going on? And I'd be like, I don't know, Mom. It was wild. But it got even weirder when the footsteps would head into the kitchen. That's when the drawers and the cabinets would start opening and closing like nobody's business. We had this one drawer, like a junk drawer, where we would throw all sorts of stuff. Old picks, pens, pencils, you name it. And one night, whatever was doing this decided to get all dramatic. It rummaged through the junk drawer, and then it put this picture of my grandma and me on the counter. I mean, my grandma had passed away, and this thing took the time to find that pic and put it out. I was terrified, man. I don't know what to think. After that, I was freaked out all the time. I didn't know what this thing was or what it wanted. My mom and I would pray together, and somehow that...
No way! It would be crazy if their grandma's haunting them! Crafty Sarah says. Okay.
Calm it down. The footsteps would stop, the computer would go back to sleep, and things would go back to normal. I don't know if it was my grandma's spirit or what, but prayer was the only thing that worked. It's still trippy to think about it now. I don't know what it was, but it's left a mark on me. Prayer became this thing that my mom and I did together, and it's stuck with me. Even now, when I think about those nights, I get chills. But it's a reminder that some things are just beyond our understanding, and sometimes all you can do is find a way to cope. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Footsteps, gross. And then at 3 a.m., if I know anything about paranormal weird stuff, they be saying 3 a.m. is a spooky hour. So like, what? Was grandma not too nice? Because I don't think grandma would be doing that. Maybe it took grandma. Ever think about that? Maybe, I don't know. Regardless, I don't like it. But if you have a scary story that you'd like to share, you can put it in the comments or you can send it to this email right up here. But of course, what did you guys think? Want to hear a scary?
Okay. Okay. Rank it. Okay, like that. It's always fake, bro. Fake, right? This one. I think it's this. Alright. But I don't hear it. Okay. Okay. What? I don't really hear. Alright. I'm just gonna say the. I asked my JB. Alright. I asked my friend Jamie to join the cheerleading tryouts after 2 weeks of watching her peek nervously through the gym doorways. She shook her head. She shook her head at first. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna rank this. I'm gonna rate this. This stupid fucking thing. Okay. Okay, this made it super dumb. Okay. Bye guys. I'm gonna stop recording. This is so dumb now. Please make sure to like and tune to Femboys. Right. Bye bye. What the hell?